Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on with y'all? You know me, I'm just chilling, chilling, chilling. So, it's terrible. So yeah, Moonknight, to start everything off, you know. Moonknight basically is about a guy who's basically schizophrenic and he has all these multiple personalities. With each personalities, he's able to change from one scene to another. Basically, unbeknownst to his other character, that he exists. Now, I figured out that Mark was the real person. I knew Steve was the personality, the secondary personality that he loves to go to when he feels that it's too much for him to cope with, or he's trying to hide what he did, which is understandable. Now, in this episode, we figured out why the hippopotamus, who is Sawat or Sarat, I think that's how you pronounce it, Tawat or Sarat, basically was there to collect their souls. She was taking them to be judged. And if you have a balanced, if your soul is balanced when you're passing through the land of the dead, then you're able to cross over into better pastures, basically to live the rest of your life. Now, their souls were uneven. It was not balanced. So if your soul isn't balanced, about time you get to the gates, then you're basically stuck. You're finna be thrown overboard. And you're gonna stay with the land of the dead for eternity. So you start to see who Mark really is, where he came from, why Mark was acting the way he's been acting, and it's all understandable now. Hell, I figured it out. Once I seen once the dude remembered a kid or something. He told the dude I can't think his name, Harold or whatever. The guy with the cane, who's now a doctor. The doctor was telling him there was a kid. Can you tell us about that kid? So Mark Hold on real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, man. But yeah, so basically, the doctor basically told him about a kid. So now Mark is basically stuck in his mind, in his head. Him and Steve. Basically, they have to create balance when they're going through the land of the dead. Now, Mark doesn't want Steve to find out the truth. Like certain stuff, he doesn't want him to see. So basically, off again. No, I ain't off again. They forced me to be off because they don't have no routes right now. They on that bullshit. I was supposed to go in this morning. I said, F it. I just took a PTO. I wasn't feeling it this morning. So I gotta go to the warehouse. So I'll go tomorrow. So yeah. Basically, okay, turn it on. All right. Yeah, man. So I got to go in the morning. I just didn't feel like going. I said, F it. I took a PTO. I missed yesterday. So I just took a PTO today. So I'll go tomorrow morning, which I don't feel like it, but I got to go. But yeah. So basically, Mark didn't want him to find out basically about what I've been known, which is that Mark had a little brother, okay? Him and his little brother, he was basically the big brother. His little brother, he would always want to follow him everywhere, always went places with him. So his mom always told him, protect your little brother. Protect your little brother, which is understandable. I understand. You know, he's the little brother, you know, and you got to make sure that he's good. That's just how it goes. Now, it rained. When it rained, instead of Mark doing what he was supposed to do, take him and his little brother back to back home, because his mother has always told him, do not go play in the rain. You know, so they went to a cave thing, and it was raining. His little brother got caught under the rocks and drowned. So his brother drowned and died. So now his mother has sunk into a sunken place. And this happens because she took all her frustrations out on Mark, beating him, abusing him verbally, saying that you was always jealous of your brother. You were always jealous of him. You killed him. When he didn't kill him, it was an accident. They were kids. But the father, who I felt was weak as hell, first of all, he should have said, look here, it was an accident. I miss him too. But you ain't gonna keep treating our son like this. He never stepped up. He just kept letting it get madder and madder. Then they would have birthday parties for Mark. Mark was, wanting to feel the love, and then his mother would come and ruin it, saying you were jealous of your brother. She drunk. He would go to his room and she would abuse him physically and mentally and verbally. So, where are my eyeglass wipes? See, this is what happens when you wear glasses, yo. Your eyes fog up. It is what it is. So, yeah. So now she's abusing him verbally. Okay, here it is. Bet. Sorry, guys. I got to wipe my glasses off. So, she was abusing him verbally and physically. So he always would go to his room. So this is when we found out how he created Steven. We never knew where Steven came from. We thought Steven was the original. We thought he was the original person. However, he wasn't. Mark was the original person. Mark used Steven because his mother died. Steven thought his mother was alive. But they got the same mother, but Steve never knew that. So Mark basically hid it. That day, it was a room they saw earlier where he was standing by the car, and I just thought it was peculiar because Mark remembered it, but Steve couldn't remember it because Steve was basically a figment of his imagination that he created. You know how you're a kid, you create that imaginary friend. So Steve was basically the imaginary friend, except he turned Steve into a personality that he can escape to get to stay away from what he's done, which is murdering people or his lost brother. He always felt like it was his fault his brother died when it wasn't his fault. It never was his fault. So that was the confliction that Mark was going through. Everyone who's watching it is thinking, oh, the confliction is what he did with somebody. Yeah, it's called Moonknight. It's called Moonknight Fast Break. It comes on Disney Plus. Fire stick broken in. You can watch it. It comes on comes on at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. So now that he basically found out that his mother's dead, like Steve, he realized it. That's when he went back to sleep, went back to the world, and he went back to that place and he found it out what it was, that his mother did die. Mark couldn't deal with it. Like, he couldn't face his mother dying because he was bitter. He was always feeling like he let his mother down. And then she would just add to it. Yeah, Fast Break. You ought to check it out. It's a Marvel show. But it's a comic book. Yeah, Nerdy Blue. That was that. Now we understand. But yeah, Fast Break. Check it out. You'll love it. So we basically thought, okay, this is crazy. So Steven was created from a character it's sort of like Indiana Jones. The story was like Indiana Jones, but he created Stephen Grant from that character. So Mark created Steven that way. So now Steven, he always would talk to him. That was like his friend, his imaginary friend. And then all of a sudden, when he had to face his mother, that's when he created his split personality. That's why he was Steven and known as Steven. And then he would turn into Mark when it was time to be a mercenary to go do things. So that's why when he wakes up, he has a job here and he has a whole total accent and he's this and that. Now everybody understands it. Is that Steve was the person he created. He's the real guy, which is Mark. Okay. which was Mark. Very interesting. Now, basically in the other world, Harold has basically been able to release I believe the god of judgment. I can't think of his name. Amat. Yeah, Amat. He basically released Amat. So now Amat is reigning supreme, judging people and redoing the underworld, redoing the world. So now Mark has to try to get back and free Khonshu so they can stop him. However, Mark is in the yeah, that was a hippopotamus. It's called the god of Sawat, which is the mother of women and children. The god of women and children, Sawat. So yeah. So, okay, that's better. I can see you guys. Now, with that happening and everything, now you have basically he's balanced. So now he's basically passed through to the next realm, to the next world now. Because he basically had his judgment. He basically is not conflicted no more. He's balanced. That's how the Egyptians and gods back in the day used to judge people. They go by that. So like if your thing is still wavering and all that, is not, if you haven't made peace with whatever happened in your life, you will be stuck in the land of the dead forever, just wandering, being a wandering soul. But if you are not conflicted, everything added up in your life, you're good with everything, how everything has happened, then you will pass through with no regrets. That's powerful. Very powerful. Now, the next episode most likely, he's going to find his way to Khonshu. He's going to find his way to Khonshu. And they're going to stop Amat. Now, we understand what everything is now. So now that that has happened, we're good to go. So this was a great series. Great plot twist. This was more like a filler. Felt like a filler episode. And we saw how Khonshu tricked him and manipulated him into being his avatar. What's up, Strictly? So we figured out now who's his avatar. We figured out how his avatar tricked him. So, So we got to see now how Mark is going to get Khonshu. This is going to be a hard task. A hard task to follow. So we got to see the craziness. We got to see Mark making peace. Mark had to let Steve go. That's the only way he was going to be balanced. He had to let Steve go. Steve basically was making him conflicted. So him, by letting Steve go, he can now do what he got to do, which is go save the world. He's no more conflicted. He told Steve everything. He would always jump to Steve as another personality to hide Mark's feelings, which was a lot to handle, man. People don't understand that's a lot to handle. You know, Mark was going through it. You know, his mother was a piece of crap, a straight piece of crap. You know, which is sad. So we see what's happening now. So now we'll see the last and final episode. This has been a great series. So now in other news, everybody is trying to come to No J Simmons' aid. Listen, y'all got to stop with all this coddling these dudes, these men. Ben Simmons has no goddamn mental health. And all this is allegedly, but he don't have no mental health. Ben Simmons' problem is he has a vaginal tear. He's very soft. He doesn't know how to handle pressure. His people behind closed doors are not doing what they're supposed to do, which is tell his ass to go out there and play. Rich Paul is the person behind all of this, but yet nobody wants to question his representation. Everybody keeps on trying to put it just on Ben, and I'm like, no. And then LeBrownie sent that little slick shot like a year ago, dissing Ben Simmons, when the fact is him and Rich are the ones telling Ben Simmons what to do. And all this is allegedly, by the way. But have you ever wondered why they haven't dropped Ben Simmons as a agent? You know, agents can pull out from a client if they feel the client is very detrimental to their business. Right? Right? So, we know what's going on with No J. We know what's going on with No J. We know what he's up to. We all see right through what Rich Paul is really trying to do. But it's funny to me, nobody got no energy for Rich Paul. Nobody's came out once to say, well, Rich, why is your client not playing? Like, what's the deal? Mental health. First, he had a back injury. Now he got mental health. Then he went back to a back injury. Now he got mental health. Which one is it? Do you got mental health or do you got a back injury? Like, are you hurt or you injured? You know, that's a question that coaches had to ask you because you would be trying to punk out of stuff. You left your teammates out there, and this is what I don't understand. Everybody's blasting him, but they're not blasting Rich Paul, his agent. Why is that? Why aren't you blasting Rich Paul? Why are you guys continuously letting Rich Paul off the hook? Huh? Why are you letting Rich Paul off the hook? Why aren't you calling Rich Paul out? That's Rich Paul's client. They don't care about real people strictly. They don't care about real people. They only care about them damn selves. They selfish. They use these words and things to cover up for their bullshit. But people who really dealing with it, they don't give a damn about them strictly. They could care less about our mental health. They don't give a shit about our mental health. They don't care about how there's lack of jobs. There's lack of hours at the workplace. You got bills on bills trying to maintain. And it's hard to maintain. But then you got family members who will be like, you could do it. You could get through it. And it's not the old days. The old days you could do what you do. Nowadays, you can't do that. Everybody got to work that's in your house. Everybody got to work. That's just point, period, blank. Yeah, stress. But see, they don't care about that. But yet, you making all these millions of dollars, you got mental health. The hell you got mental health for? And you got all these $1 million. I wish I had mental health having $1 million. I wish I had mental health having $1 billion. I wish I could use that for work. I got mental health. Right. Teenagers with part-time jobs. Exactly. Talking about I'm stressed out. I'm like, if you don't get your young ass out of here, you can go back and get fed by your mommy and them. I ain't got that luxury. But see, this is what we have allowed, people. We have allowed the public to basically use us, to basically spit in our face, to make us seem like we're stupid. So you got all this crap going on. You got Jamie Foxx coming out here, which I love what he did. He exposed Stephen Coon Smith. I love when somebody expose his coon ass. He was just waiting for Kyrie and Kevin Durant to fail. He was the main one. They didn't give no credit to the Boston Celtics. All they did was rip KD. Rip KD. But nobody gave respect to Boston Celtics. Nobody said the Boston Celtics have a great game plan. Nobody talked about how great of a team they were. All y'all could do was just crucify Kevin Durant. But my thing is this. Why is it nobody gave the Boston Celtics no credit? Everybody was talking about Kevin Durant, including me. I called him out I called him out because how weak he played in the games, and he is a cupcake. And I'm gonna call his ass a cupcake until he showed me otherwise. But my thing is this: all these mainstream shows, y'all didn't want to talk about the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics get no love. And those guys have been going through a lot this year. Turmoil within the team, guys trying to figure each other roles out, a first-year coach who's going through all this, who had to deal with all this crap of people doubting them, not saying they're going to perform well, all this stuff they heard. But yet everybody was happy when KD lost and stuff. And KD got the pressure, which was cool. That's cool if you gave it to Kevin Durant. However, my thing is this. Y'all coming to Ben Simmons' aid for what? Ben Simmons is mentally weak. All right? Ben Simmons wanted to come back. This is what I told you guys. He came back so he could get some of his money back because he lost a lot of money. Yeah, they love Bron. He lost a lot of money. So he lost a lot of money. So what he had to do and everything was he had to come back to try to get as much money as he can. So that's what he did. All this allegedly, by the way. So he had to get enough money as he can. Once he got enough money, he was good to go. He was like, all right, bet. So he was good. And he just sat out. He used the mental health thing, and then he used the back injury, so he didn't have to play. Him and Rich Paul planned that. They just wanted to get him out of Philly. But Ben Simmons wanted to salvage some money. But because Ben Simmons sat out, shout out to Chris C for telling me this, now the NBA is going to hurt the NBA owners are going to hurt the players. They're going to drop the games to 70 games a year. And what they're going to do is they're basically going to put in your contract that they're only going to pay you for the games you played. If you sit out games with a non-injury or anything that's not disclosed, or if they find out you're not telling the truth, you will not get paid. So the days of the players having the power is over. You need to thank Ben Simmons for that, players. Because now LeBrownies, they're going to find a way to help him out because he's going to want to sit out. So they're going to find a way to go through loopholes to help him. But everybody else, boy, you are under the scope. You under the scope. What up, Felton? Still the king in the house. So you guys are under the scope. You are under the scope. And that's just how it's going to be. You know, I wish they wouldn't come down to that, but the players have done this to themselves. And plus, you know, like T was saying last night, they need to cut the games down because we're having too many injuries. You know, after 50 games, you should know who's who, who's what. So we're going to see. So they're going to do that. I don't care for it. I think they ought to play 82 game season because I'm good with that. But just like T was saying, you after 50 games, you should know who's who. And you should start the season around Christmas time. I mean, which would be good, but we'll see. Right, kill load management. But yeah. But Ben Simmons, there's nothing wrong with Ben Simmons, man. Ben Simmons planned on doing this. He don't have no mental health, nothing. Well, they weren't playing 82 games from the beginning of the time Felton. They started playing 82 games, I believe. I forgot when they start playing. I think they started playing in the 80s and the 90s. I think the 80s they started playing it. I don't know, because they never used to play 82 games like that. I gotta look that up. Man. But I don't know. Yeah, I think the late 70s, Nerdy Blue. I'm not sure though. I wish T was here. T would tell me. Oh, since the 60s or 70s? Oh, my bad. Hey, you might be right, man. Somebody look that up on their Google. When did they start playing 82 games? When did they start playing 82 games? Let's see. When did they start? 67 to 68. Okay. You said you remember Wilt won a ring in 67 when they won, I believe, 67 games at that time. All right, yeah. So the 67 to 68 season. So Wilt won the 67 games at that time. So Wilt basically won 66 to 67. Okay. So I mean, hey, go ahead and do it. I don't see nothing wrong with it, man. If you want to cut it down to 70, which is cool, I would do it. I would cut it down to 70, you dig? But at the same time, boy, this gonna hurt the players because players can't sit out no more. You know, players feel like they can get away with stuff, right? Now you can't. Now all that's gone and out the window because you got all these soft players loving to take time off. Got these players trying to take time off and stuff. So, you know. So do y'all think they should cut the games down? Do y'all think they ought to cut the games down? I disagree. Don't cut it down. Yeah, that's how I feel. Man up. That's what's wrong, man. But I was shocked. Detroit T said, nah, cut it down. Detroit T said, cut the games down. I was like, oh man, Detroit T said that. He old school like me. But Detroit T said, cut it down. Detroit T said, cut it down. That's what he said. That's what he said. Hell no, keep 82. That's how I feel. I say keep 82. That's how I feel. Yeah, that's true, fast break. But I mean, if they do this, would it be more competitive if they cut it down to 70? Huh? Would it be more competitive if you cut it down to 70? What you guys think? What you guys think? Seem like these players, man, hey, they soft. They softy soft. He said he doubted. So y'all don't think if they cut the games down it'll be competitive? You think it'll be competitive? If you cut it down to 70 games, you're basically taking away what? 12 games? You're basically taking away 12 games. Y'all can live with that? Probably make them less competitive. Whoa. Fast Break said it's going to make them less competitive. So y'all think it's going to be less competitive. Less rest time for the players. Yeah, that's true. The bottom teams would have a harder time fighting for the playoffs. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can't afford to start the season off bad. He said they already ready for that summer break. I believe they are. True. But yeah, man. But the recap, Moonknight was great. Can't wait till next week's Moonknight. And Ben Simmons, there's nothing wrong with him. He just has a vaginal tear. So thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this. Hit that notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. Yeah, Moonknight was intense, Feltimore. We figured out what Moonknight. And if you like what you hear, you can go to the description box, hit that link to the Cash App to donate whatever you like. Next time we have a live or a premiere video, make sure you super chat. But yeah, Moonknight was intense. It showed us why he is who he is. So yeah. So thank you guys, man, for your love, peace, and blessings. We out. Deezy.